Finding the right people to deliver a truly unique experience is at the heart of every great business. But what happens when the talent you need comes from overseas? Today, we're talking about the real challenges Scottish businesses face when navigating international recruitment and how free expert support is available and helping employers find the right path forward. Scotland's migration service is a free service backed by the Scottish Government and delivered in partnership with Seraphis and Citizens Advice Scotland, offering one-to-one advice, online guidance, and webinars to help Scottish employers recruit international talent with confidence. Joining me today is Kat from MercatTours. Kat, thank you so much for joining us.
Lovely to be here, thank you.
So just give us a snapshot of who you are and what your business does.
I'm Kat Brogan and I'm Managing Director of MercatTours Edinburgh, which is a tourism business, a family-owned independent business based here in Edinburgh.
Amazing. Can you just tell the story of how it started? Because it's a great story.
Mercat was born on the 1st of July 1985, which, if you do the quick maths, means that we hit 40 last year. It was Dad that started Mercat back in 85, and since then we've grown to be 5-star walking tour operator in Edinburgh and the largest of our kind. B Corp, multi-award winning, very proud family business.
Amazing.
And as you've been growing the team, you've taken on some international hires. So I'm interested to understand what led you to use Scotland's migration service and how did you find it?
The first time we used Scotland's migration service was when we had a member of our team who was a student and they were then moving on to a graduate visa. And so we needed to understand what that meant, how it changed their relationship with work and our relationship with them, and making sure that, we were following the rules and making sure everybody was safe and secure.
Amazing. And how did you find out about it, the service?
First of all, I think it was actually by email. And then it's when you see it everywhere, you know what I mean? And the communications were really strong, very positive, very inviting and open, very accessible. Just book a call, book a meeting, and we'll do the rest. And the interactions we've had, because it wasn't just with Lindsay, we've had it with other members of our team, have been really positive, very human, very calm and patient, which you need when you're talking about something as important as working with the UK Home Office. Very supportive.
Great. So can you talk us through some sort of the steps that are sort of required and then how Scotland's migration service kind of helped you through that process?
Sure. Well, first of all, you need to become a skilled worker sponsor. So you need to be a license holder. And that's the first step you need to go through, which we did. And as a family business, myself and my brother were the two named people in the license holders, as it were. And as a business, you need to understand the undertaking because you're working with the UK Home Office. And once we'd done that, it was then looking at the parameters of the specific job that Lindsay was first of all doing and whether that was eligible. Did it meet the criteria for sponsorship, which it did. And that's whether it's the salary threshold, you're looking at a qualification threshold, and whether we could meet that as an employer, whether she could meet that as the employee. And so there's a lot of considerations to walk through, and of course the financial sponsorship as well.
There's a lot of forms, or what's then the actual process when you go through it?
It's online, but you need to be very clear on the role that you're advertising, or in our case, it was the role that she was already undertaking. So you need to be very clear in the skills and qualifications of that role, which are then effectively matched against the criteria of the skilled worker visa criteria, and whether or not it meets. So you need to know your business, you need to know the gaps in your business and the skills required, and you need to also know the finances as well, because and this has changed in the time since we sponsored Lindsay the first time round. That threshold has increased and you need to be prepared for that changing. So it's eyes wide open.
It sounds like it's a real joined up process between you and the person you're hiring. Do they have quite a lot of input into it?
It did with us, and I would suggest I would advise that you do, because whilst you are an employer and an employee, there is a commitment on both sides. As the employer, you have a dedicated role. You are the UK Home Office point of reference and licence holder, and that's a heavy responsibility, a legal responsibility. Equally, the employee understands the commitment that you're making to them. So you can't help but have that hand in hand together. I suppose it would depend on the size of scale of your business. We've got just shy of 60 in our team, so everybody's a bit like family for us. But it's definitely, we did it together.
And how easy has it been for them to settle into Scotland and, live their life here?
Well, Lindsay's been here 10 years now. She came over to study and then did her master's. And she's here because she loves it and wanted to stay. So I think that speaks for itself. Very happy to be here and contribute, as I say, having just gotten a promotion within the business, both to Mercat and Scotland more broadly.
Great. Can you share how, Lindsay specifically has maybe had a huge impact in terms of what you've been able to do as a business and continue to grow?
When she first joined us, it was really an entry role, and it was part-time. So in our kind of visitor experience team. Then as her studies changed and she graduated, she had more time. She was looking for more hours, which we were happy to give her. And she had particular skills in marketing and content management and writing, copywriting. So we extended and gave her a hybrid role between the visitor experience team and in the marketing team. And since then, we've invested in her skills and her qualifications, from everything from Adobe through to photography, through to most recently AI. And ongoing. It's an ongoing process. And as we've invested in her, she absolutely has invested that back and shown her commitment to the business. And we've thrived throughout. Case in point, last year was her 30th birthday. And she did an amazing amount of work to make that the really special year we wanted it. And in marketing, that's about communication, how we are seen, how we are heard. And literally, she is the voice of Mercat. If you go onto social media, you'll hear Lindsay.
Congratulations on your big birthday.
Thank you.
So were there any concerns you had about the process of hiring internationally that Scotland's Migration Service helped you with?
First, I suppose a couple of things, yes. One is being the licence holder. I mean, that's a heavy responsibility. And when you go through that process and you're filling in the forms, you're making a declaration and you are personally, not the business, you are personally responsible for that person. So if there's any breach of their visa conditions, then that sits on you. So I took, as I say, it was myself and my brother, take that very seriously. So that was one concern, which the Scotland Migration Service just, I suppose, calmed and reassured that we were doing everything right. The other was they're just incredibly human, and they demystified the process and took it down step by step. This is what you need to do. And another case in point was another member of our team who was coming to their end of their visa, had to go back home for, unfortunately, it was just the way the dates worked, briefly for literally 6 weeks, to then come back again on a new visa, which they did and was all fine. And they've come back into their old role, and that's great, except obviously the conditions of their visa changed from the old to the new. And we wanted to make sure everything was right, everything was secure for them and for us. And the Scotland Migration Service held our hand through that process, particularly when things do change on the thresholds and the criteria. So yeah, the real peace of mind.
What sort of confidence has the Scotland's Migration Service given you in hiring abroad in the future?
They've taken away all the fear. They've taken away all the concern and worry I might have. We might not always be successful in terms of, a candidate who might not meet the threshold, might not meet the criteria, the qualification criteria. But I have total faith and trust that they will see us good, as it were, and make sure that we are following the rules. And equally, they, on a number of occasions, have been. They're so human. They've been really open about looking at alternative ways to involve somebody in the business within the realms of the law. So yeah, it's definitely it's not a tick box exercise. It's a very human experience that you have with Scotland's Migration Service.
So Kat, if there's any Scottish business owners sitting out there thinking about hiring internationally, what advice would you give them?
Without hesitation, use Scotland's Migration Service. It will give you expert advice. It will be human. It will be patient and reassuring, and will open your eyes actually to the possibilities out there. Because I mean, we're a small independent family business. We might not have thought of becoming skilled worker sponsors, but we have, and no regrets.
Amazing. Kat, thank you so much for coming on and sharing a little bit of your story in using the service, and we wish you all the luck in the future.
Thank you.
So if you're looking to hire or retain global talent, then Scotland's Migration Service can help. To find out more and to get the support you need, visit migrationservice.scotland.org.